For students who are involved in on-campus activities, getting from place to place quickly can be a problem. Reporter Lib Curley is at one of UNC's newest parking decks to tell us more.
That's right, Adam. I'm standing here next to the Cobb parking deck, which is one of the newest decks built on UNC's campus. But even with this and the addition of the Rams Head parking deck, it's still been hard for students and faculty to find good parking on campus.
Last year, UNC senior Fletcher Gregory racked up more than $250 worth of parking tickets.
I've gotten tickets for, a various amount of reasons, for being at the business school, going to lacrosse practice, and it's kind of funny because, my dad just, pays for it as an added expense to the university.
For off-campus students involved in extracurriculars, figuring out how to get on campus can be a headache. Some take the risk of getting a ticket, but others invest in off-campus spaces. Senior Megan Lumsden pays $80 a month to park at a nearby church. She says it's comforting to know she'll always have a spot.
It's definitely a reassurance. I know that there will always be one here for me because I have my pass. They've given out a certain amount of parking spots. There will always be an open parking spot.
On-campus parking permits are another way to get closer to class, if you live at least 2 miles away. UNC's Department of Public Safety spokesperson Randy Young says students can still purchase permits.
I think it's remarkable to note that students still have permits available. It's really not a matter of running out of permits. It may be more aptly put as running out of permits that are highly desirable.
Parking on campus can cost a good deal of money. Risking a ticket can cost you nothing, or thousands of dollars, based on your luck. Renting an off-campus spot can be between $640 and $1,000 per year. And buying an on-campus permit will cost between $220 and $380 per year.
Students can still purchase South Campus S11 parking permits at the Department of Public Safety.
Lib, is it difficult for students and faculty to get those permits?
No, it's not hard to get the permits. The catch is that they're far from campus.
Lib Curley at the Cobb parking deck, thank you.
A new study shows ways to nix acne. According to experts, cutting high glycemic index carbohydrates, such as pasta and white bread and donuts, reduces acne. Reports from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition says high glycemic index carbs digest quickly, causing sugar spikes that produce insulin. Insulin thickens hair follicles, which traps dirt and oil, ultimately causing acne. So, stick to whole grains.
There are a lot of health risks associated with obesity, but a new study shows that being up to 25 pounds overweight won't necessarily increase your risk of heart disease or cancer. But even though those two diseases can be eliminated from their list of problems, overweight people are still prone to diabetes and kidney failure. People who are defined as obese are 30 pounds or more overweight, and this puts them at a higher risk for many medical problems, including heart disease and cancer.
Drinking too much is a big problem, and not just when you get behind the wheel of a car. Reporter Sierra Moore has the story.
Binge drinking has increased sharply in recent years. Whenever you think of binge drinking, you might think of having 8 to 10 beers, when actually half that amount in a 2-hour period is considered binge drinking.
We have a huge college population. They work hard in school and they play hard when they're out.
Chapel Hill police officer Mitch McKinney says buses keep many drunk drivers off the streets.
However, we routinely have individuals get bumped by cars or seriously injured by cars because they are intoxicated and they step out in front of a vehicle.
And not just at frat parties. At UNC, in the past couple of years, alcohol complaints have decreased because frat members are self-monitoring to report these problems when they arise. But despite more than a decade's worth of work nationwide, there's been no decrease in the proportion of students who binge drink, and more stories of women who are drugged while drinking.
We were drinking out of solo cups, out of, just red open container cups, so I'm sure it would have been really easy for somebody to slip something in there.
The executive director of the Orange County Rape Crisis Center, Christina Reardon, says even if they don't get drugged, people are simply more vulnerable after a few too many drinks.
I think there's one statistic that says that it's involved maybe in about 75% of date and acquaintance rapes. There's some alcohol is involved in some form or fashion.
Despite all the risks, many college students seem to be ignoring the warnings. In Chapel Hill, I'm Sierra Moore, Carolina Week.
For a 130-pound female, having just 3 drinks in 2 hours is enough to be legally drunk. But any amount of alcohol puts you at some risk.
There's been a lot of talk about going green, and some Dukies are getting ready to live green. The Duke Smart House opened Monday. The house was a creation of a former Duke engineering student who wanted to find ways to build houses to save electricity and water. There are solar panels to draw in energy from the sun and cisterns located throughout the house to collect rainwater for bathroom and laundry use. 10 students will occupy the experimental house beginning in January. And we're joined now by weathercaster Laura Pagano.
Well, Laura, I was so surprised at how warm it was this morning. It's this late in the season.
That's very true. It was incredibly nice today, and with sunny skies and warm temperatures, will we be seeing a cool down? Your forecast is coming up next.